So, what is a cannabis farm? Well, cannabis is probably the most widely used drug in the UK, and there should actually be a picture leaf of the cannabis because it's up here. Leaf. It's estimated that the market for cannabis in the UK is about £1 billion. Yeah, so just imagine if we taxed it. Farms are springing up all over the rented sector, and I can tell you, if anybody's familiar with the property in Bedford, Hurst Grove last week, if you drive past, there's a nice property in Hurst Grove which has been boarded up by the police after a cannabis factory was discovered. And I can tell you that's probably the fourth one in Bedford in the last 8 weeks. And Crime Stoppers have indicated a huge rise in those. And there's the cannabis leaf. So if you don't know what it smells like, you've got an idea of what it actually looks like. What does the law say? For possession of cannabis, which is a Class B drug, and there are penalties for possession and cultivation, and you can be sentenced up to 5 years in prison and an unlimited fine. And if you are making production, then you can get up to 14 years in prison. Yeah. I don't know if it's on there, but as a landlord, your property will also be confiscated for a period of time. So is that a picture of that? Yep.
So sorry, so what you're saying is if the tenant is producing cannabis in your property,
yep,
then you can have your property confiscated?
Correct.
For a period of time?
For a period of time. So
mean?
Hurst Grove has been shut for, will be shut now for, I think it's 3 months or 6 months. Yeah. So as a property, if you have a cannabis farm in there, so they will confiscate that property and you're not allowed anybody to go in there. It's all boarded up. So you won't be able to gain any rental income from that for that period of time.
What they're doing with it while it's closed though, why it's all boarded up? I'm not saying take the cannabis away, but why can you not use it? Why can't you use it?
Rental,
Probably
yeah.
rent it anyway.
Yeah.
When they have a cannabis thing, they gut the place, don't they?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Invariably, they trash it.
Yeah, some of the damage that can be caused to particularly electrical issues and that, you know, is pretty. They bypass the meters, and you know, houses catch fire because of it, because they just simply overload.
Would your warranty cover that sort of stuff?
That's really the rent guarantee. That's you know, where tenants default on the rent. That's not to do with you know, illegal aspects like that.
But if the tenants were arrested, and therefore they're not paying the rent, you'll say you're not covered for that.
My insurance doesn't cover illegal activity. I know.
No, yeah. There's a form that I saw today that means that you wouldn't be able to get it for illegal activity, and that's one of the reasons, yeah, on there. How to spot a cannabis farm? Firstly, the smell, which I've been told is a sweet, sticky, kind of spicy kind of smell. Yeah.
Is that even when they're just growing? That's not when they're smoking it, that's just
No,
growing.
that's just growing. And as a consequence to that, what you'll find is that you'll have a lot of properties that will have ventilation. You'll see tubes out of windows, yeah, because they need to give it that fresh air to help grow it. You'll also get a lot of activity coming and going, and you'll get a lot of different people coming along in terms of it. Yeah, they would try to alternate the people that are actually coming and growing the cannabis. Often you'll see that the windows will be blocked out, and the classic sign is like a silvery tin foil, yeah, which is kind of on the windows. And what you'll also find is that people will tend to use properties that aren't quite visible, so not quite on the main road, they're hidden around the back, they're not accessible. Another great sign is that the lights are left on all the time, and the reason being is because cannabis grows best apparently under light. Yeah?
Strong light. It's, you know, it's an equatorial plant, needs good strong sunlight, and these lights actually reproduce that.
Windows will be misty because there's a level of temperature that was in there, and also probably the biggest telltale sign is that you'll hear sounds of extraction. So you will hear fans that are constantly going as they circulate the air both in and out. And one of the other things that you'll also see in a cannabis factory is what they'll actually do is they'll install rather large tents inside the property, yeah, and it keeps everything contained within there. Landlord's responsibility. Is it illegal? Yeah, pretty much. Financially, it could be costly to you, not just in terms of the damage that could potentially happen there, but also in terms of, as I said, the property being confiscated for a period of time. And what can we do as agents to prevent this? Is we carry out checks on those tenants as part of that process, but also through the time that we're lodged to have is that we will continue to do visits and inspections within that property. Yeah, and a good agent will minimise the risk for you. So, a couple of nice pictures here for you of cannabis growing in things, and you can see the cable in there, the electrics that have come through there, and also the damage to the property. So, summarise. Cannabis is big business. It's easy to set up. It is actually, in the UK, we are now allegedly exporters of cannabis.
Not sure after Brexit, though.
Yeah, well, and to just to give you an idea in terms of is it easy to set up, we know of a cannabis factory that tenants moved in and it was set up and established and they were on their second crop within 5 weeks. Can it be avoided? Yes. Obviously by having a great agent. There we are. Very short briefing on cannabis. Don't ask me any questions on cannabis. I've never used it. I much prefer a glass of wine.
I'll answer anything because
You're welcome.
I'll tell you the tale of the next door neighbour if you like. So.
Okay, so my question will be, so in the event that obviously there being a case like this, will my rental and legal protection cover me for that?
Probably not.
Why?
Because rent and legal's covering rent arrears and the legal process in terms of getting the tenant out of the rent arrears. What you'd have to check is whether your buildings and contents insurance will cover it. Yeah, and that would be the small print you'd be checking. Now, how quick and easy it is for a cannabis farm to set up, Andrew's already alluded to this. Next door to our office, a landlord built a little extension, 1-bedroom flat. You're laughing because I've told you this tale already. And a few weeks ago, probably about 4 now, we were sat in the office and we're like, there's a bit of a funny smell here. I'm not going to say what it is, but the smells a bit odd.
We're on Tavistock Street.
Yeah,
so there are some
Tavistock
funny
Street,
smells,
we're on
okay.
Tavistock Street. And there's the flats at the back, so we thought, oh, maybe it's somebody on the balcony having a cheeky spliff, you know, we won't worry about it too much, not a lot we can do about that. Well, anyway, this went on for about 2 weeks. And then towards the end, I think it was a Thursday afternoon, I'm sitting there, eyes a kite, saying to Nigel, this isn't right, this is really strong smell here. He said, leave it with me, I'll go outside. So he stood at the window, which was ajar, of this flat, and he said, I can hear a generator going.
Okay.
Yeah. So we rang the landlord, who was a little bit nondescript about it, yeah, whatever. So we thought, well, we can't leave it at this. We've got clients coming, what are they going to think? They turn up at the back and there's a smell of cannabis. It's not very good advertisement for the office. So we rang the police. Police, great, turned up with the landlord, who was very sheepish when he turned up. Opened up the flat, complete back of the property. Now, bearing in mind, it's only a 1-bedroom flat, completely tented out. The little hydroponics going, little plants growing about this size. Now, when I said to the landlord with a smirk, I said, oh, where did you get your tenant from, Mr. Landlord? He said, Gumtree. She works in a nail bar in town. I thought she was all right. Now, we've never seen her. The only people we'd seen was a couple of dodgy-looking blokes in a Mercedes. So it just shows you, you've got to be careful. You've got to do the right checks. You've got to make sure you're checking that property because, like I say, within a short space of time, that was up and running. It's not there anymore. And landlord's moved somebody else in, so we're just waiting to see whether the smell occurs again or it's somebody else that, you know, it's probably going to be a brothel next time, maybe. But anyway.
One final thing, when the police turned up, I was chatting to them for quite a while about it, and they were quite blasé about it because they, on average, they said they have on average probably 2 to 3 a week in Bedford. That just shows you the scale of it and the demand for it.
So that's us done for the evening. I'd like to thank everybody for coming today. I'm absolutely blown away by the amount of people that have turned up on this horrible, dark, rainy night. We hope this is going to be one of many events and that you'll all keep coming and keep learning and keep talking and keep networking Because I think no matter what you say, be you're an agent or a landlord, we're all in the same game and we all need to work together. And you know, like I say, we're not selling today, but I just want to make sure that everybody's getting the right thing. I don't like to see anybody that's been wronged, and if I can do anything to help you, be it take a look at your paperwork, your tenancy agreements, I'm more than happy to do that. Like I say, we're all getting hammered by government, so let's fight back and make sure that we're not going to get stung by these £56,000 fines, etc. So thanks again, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.